It's just one of these lonely South Australian houses that'll end up being just a few rocks. It's deteriorated amazingly. I mean, it's interesting to see what happens when you leave a place for so long.
I have no particular claim for this place, apart from the fact I stayed there for about 6 months in 1972, while I was working for a minerals exploration company that was doing some work around the area. And we sort of used this place as a camp. This is doing some diamond drilling, and you put the core down, went thousands of metres, and you get a core out that you can look at and see what minerals are down there. This is the setup. It was quite interesting building up all these little, like a Meccano set drilling rigs. This is a percussion drill, and you don't get a core out of this, you get sort of dust particles that you can analyse. And our nearest town was the deserted hamlet of Hammond on the Wallachra Plain. The homestead had probably been deserted for 30 years before we got there, but still there was enough evidence to show the lifestyle that the people had who were there before. As this is the wrong side of the goiter line, and conditions aren't that good, eventually the small landholders sold out to the bigger properties and the little places were abandoned. This is doing some induced polarisation. By shoving currents into the earth, you can look at the reflections and get an idea of what's underneath. In my downtime, I'd take a walk around, and within a few kilometres there was tons of homesteads abandoned, full of junk and farm machinery all over the place. Our modern rig, compared to an ancient drill rig, probably been there for 100 years. Probably up until the 1950s a family had struggled to live in this property, and as you can see the conditions were pretty basic. These sort of houses are all around the place, just decaying. The first documented trip back was in 1990, on our way back from the transcontinental trip to Western Australia, Mount Ragged and all that.
Quite livable over here. See, all this is totally wrecked. It was quite a... I used to sit out here and sun myself after work. Now there's no roof. No, not much at all anywhere. Yeah. See the sievers, yes, that's... Yeah, the old battery valve sievers. That would have been a big innovation back in the 1930s. I tried to get it working, I remember. They used to have baths in this bathroom. I used to wash my clothes in this wash house. We used to store important things down here.
The next visit was on the way back from viewing the total eclipse of the sun in December 2002 at Wirramina.
And on my trip to the motorbike trip to Central Australia, I stayed in there. It's all rotting out because it was locked up. The place wasn't too bad.
And you've got the writing on the wall here.
And the writing on the wall, here we are. Sunday exchange closed. There was an old the old type of wooden telephone, and you go wind, and you pick the thing up, and we were Aurelia 7. And say, hello, Aurelia 7? Yes, I'd like to have Quorn 15, thank you. Yes, putting you through now, thank you. Click, click, click. You can go ahead now. And that's, that was Quorn 274. That was the office. Yeah, so that was written down there. We used to have our fires here. The sheep seem to enjoy it here a lot.
Yeah, they've in here, haven't they?
You come through the kitchen, deteriorated lots since I was here. Yes, yes. Now, unfortunately, when I was here 10 years ago, there was a note on the wall there, had lots of things on it. Here. Quite livable.
Maybe you could restore it.
Maybe you could.
Maybe not.
Yeah. That was the bathroom. The bathroom, we put stuff in a heater. This front area has all collapsed. Unfortunately. There's a wall thing there. Here, it's still there. The old radio. Unfortunately, the cabinet has all deteriorated in the rain, but that was a radio and had battery valve quality set back in the 30s or something when the people lived here. In 10-year segments to see the different states of decay of something falling to bits.
What's that from?
What's the old radio? Batteries in there.
Oh, it's still in there? Oh,
The concrete bed for the generator and the wiring's still there.
so why isn't it here?
Film when we came back in 19 when the Western Australian trip. This is all green because it's winter, and I filmed all the stuff, all the junk around here. It's just one of these lonely South Australian houses that'll end up being just a few rocks. It's deteriorated amazingly. I mean, it's interesting to see what happens when you leave a place for so long. Funny why this bit's fallen off and the other bit hasn't.
Magnesia. What are you doing with magnesia?
Where's the magnesium?
Here.
I don't know. I think that's an artifact from... collapsing more. I'd be a bit careful of being in there, actually.
It's been well built.
It has. No maintenance for 20 years. No, longer. It had probably been nails in there for... And whenever you burnt the wood here, it had that acrid sort of smell.
Yeah, I think it was. I think you're right. Look at this little cellar. And it's had mud brick over the beams to keep it cool.
Even is this?
That's one of our drilling bits. Yeah, this screwed on to the big pipes and it'd go down the ground and grind away there, going down hundreds of metres. And as it went down, you screwed on more pipes and it'd push it down.
Oh, the bore, yeah.
Yeah, and then once it got stuck, you had to pull it out again. Quite a tedious business. So, tungsten or some sort of special metal cutting bits.
But isn't the metal cutting bit would have been worn off?
It does. You can see how you take them back to the place, if you get out of the sun there, because you're shining, you're standing in the fire. Yeah, you take it back and they weld the cutting bits back on, so you don't have to replace the whole thing. The door. Or close the door, I guess I'll be back in about another 5 or 10 years to see what it looks like then.
2004. The old homestead, another place we have to look at, was we're going past this area. Lonely and forlorn and slowly falling to pieces. The erosion's taking its place. There's been sheep in there, so it looks like it's one day I'll come past here and it will just be a pile of stones. - 2005. And now various compilations from 2008 up until 2017. I'd like to get back there sometime, but we haven't been able to lately. We can now witness advancing dilapidation over the years. I find it fascinating to see things just crumble away by natural causes.